Final year students across the country are gearing up for this year's West African Senior School Certificate Examination, WASI. As part of efforts to prepare students both mentally and academically, Saint Brother Andre Senior High School has organized a special guidance session for its candidates. The event featured Miss Safwa Osei Fosu, a certified counselor and accomplished writer, who shared vital tips on effective study habits, examination readiness, and mental preparation for success. In an exclusive interview with Marianne Obeng of Brandhigh Media, Ms. Osei Fosu addressed a pressing concern. What should a student do if they suddenly go blank during an exam?
Student Auntie, in a case where someone suffers from total blackouts during examination, with these questions, I'm going to subject myself to all of them. So, in a case where I've learned for the exam, but then once I see the paper, I don't know, I just forget everything. Auntie, what should I do?
Well, before you get to the exams hall, you'll have to take away everything that is called fear. Because it is fear that made you black out. You were afraid that you didn't prepare adequately. So it is all due to fear. One thing I would like students to know that what you can do to prevent that is to prepare adequately. Use your time judiciously. When you're able to do that, even if you get there and you forget something, just relax. Take in a deep breath. You'll find that everything will come back. It may not all come at a go, but gradually. You will not forget everything at all. You may forget some. So what you remember, start. Don't let the time go without you doing anything. One, take out that thing called fear. It is what is preventing you from achieving your aim. After all, the paper is not a monster. Control the paper. Do not let the paper control you.
Students must approach their studies with a clear mind and avoid distractions. If you struggle with concentration, planning your time and setting your mind to learn is essential.
Okay. And also, in the course of your speech, you also spoke of various forms of distractions. Again, subjecting myself to this, I sit down to learn. I open the book. I actually want to learn, but then given the classroom environment, it's prep time, but then not everyone will be quiet. And I'm someone with concentration problems. I don't intend to listen to what people are saying. I mean to learn, but then what they are saying just keeps entering my head. So I find myself rather focusing on them more than my book. So then at the end of the day, I think I have learned, but then I don't remember anything. What can you do to help me?
You'll have to plan on how to learn. We are all not the same. Some can sit for hours. Some feel very jittery the moment they sit behind their books. But tell you what, if you know who you are, you know what you're going to learn, you'll be able to achieve your aim. How are you going to go about this? Before you sit to study, plan what are you going to study. Make up your mind. As I was speaking to the Form 3s, I told them the brain is a very powerful tool. Whatever you feed the brain, that is what you achieve. You can actually block everybody from your mind when you decide to sit and study. If you know really what you want to do, some distractions may not get to you. There may be people talking, there may be all sorts of distractions, but it will not catch your attention. If you have a good timetable, prepare one if you don't. Have a timetable, as I said, review the timetable weekly. Once you are able to review weekly, you know what you're going to do. Tell yourself, I'm going to sit for an hour undistracted. If it's water you want to drink, you drink before. If you want to use the washroom, you use the washroom before you sit. Once you sit, take some few seconds or minutes to pray. Ask God to help you to sit and study. Ask Him to grant you retentive memory. Ask Him to give you wisdom. Once you sit behind the book, concentrate. You will have to block your mind. You can do that. The brain is a powerful tool. Use it. Block all distractions of noise, whatever it is coming through. Sit. If it's one page you want to read, after reading a page, you can decide to go over it again, maybe twice or thrice. After that, make some short notes and then close your eyes and recall. I talked about visualizing what you're reading and recall whatever you have read. If there's time, jot down a few points out of what you have read, and you will realize even if you spent an hour and a half, 2 hours, even if it's 30 minutes, you've been able to do something.
She also advised students who often feel sleepy while studying to review their routine and remain focused.
Auntie, also this problem, I'm sure I'm not the only one who faces it, is sleep. Sometimes you intend to learn, no, but then you just sit down, then you are just feeling sleepy. You just can't fight the sleep. Meanwhile, maybe you had some good afternoon sleep too, but then once you open the book, sleep just takes over your whole being. So how do you fight sleep?
As I said, everything is in the mind. If you want to sleep behind a book, you can sleep. If you really want to study, you can study. So before you sit behind a book, if you will take even 5 minutes walking about, just stretching, prepare yourself to sit. You sit and you make up your mind. You tell yourself, I am not going to sleep. I am going to read. I'm going to do 2 pages. I'm going to do 3 pages. I'm going to read an hour. It is called determination. Determination. It is not sleep that takes over you. It is you take over the sleep. If you allow the sleep to come, the sleep will come. But if you decide I'm not going to sleep, sometimes if you know the battle ahead of you, sleep is not an option. I'm not saying don't sleep. You need to rest because your body needs it. But there's time for everything. So once you know the task ahead of you, the battle that you're going to fight in some few months to come, my dear, you'll have to psych yourself up in such a way that sleep will not be attractive. When you get to your room during siesta, do what you have to do. Sleep, rest, and then come out with that renewed energy, that zeal, that positive energy to sit behind the book. And make sure that you make up your mind to achieve your aim by staying focused. Read and you'll be able to make it. Don't let the sleep take over you. You take over the sleep. Sometimes when we feel like sleeping, stand up. You can stretch. Yawn all you want and then sit down. Sometimes we drive while sleeping. It might be due to tiredness. Every human being at a point needs to rest. But make sure you rest when it's time to rest and you study when it's time to study. Do not let sleep overtake you. Overtake the sleep.
According to her, with determination and proper planning, staying awake and alert during study sessions is achievable.
So then, can you please give not only me but then our lovely viewers a few things you do before taking an exam? So before you take an exam, something you do that helps you remember everything you learn, so that we can also learn from you.
Proper planning is key. You put together a timetable and go by it religiously. Do not put together a timetable and say, today I do not feel like studying this. You put it together. You know what you want. You know your aim. Study according to your timetable. As I said, review your timetable weekly. Whatever subject you put on the timetable, add a topic. Make sure you are able to cover that topic during the week. And then the following week, come back with another set. That's the timetable with different topics. Before the time comes for the exams, you would have touched on all the topics. Try to answer past questions. Join study groups. As I said, join study groups that will be beneficial. Don't go sit in study groups where you use your time to gossip and do unnecessary things. Make sure that the study group will have an impact on you. Contribute well. Have enough rest. Solve enough questions. If you think there are some difficulties or some challenges you're facing and you do not understand, do not hesitate to ask the teacher or the tutor to help you. You may have some mates who may have some knowledge on what you do not have. Ask them and they will help. That is called peer learning. And make sure one thing, you are focused. It is being determined that gets you to your goal. So once you are adequately prepared, what is called fear is out. What is called distractions is out. Procrastination is a no-no. So when you are adequately equipped, you are able to face the battle head on.
For Mrs. Osei-Fosu, prayer and personal determination have been pillars of her own academic and professional success. She encouraged all students to adopt the same mindset. It's never too late to start. Even if you've been unserious up till now, there's still time. 3 months is enough to make a meaningful change.
Okay, so my last question is, now a lot has been said and we have just 3 months to WASI time. So for someone who has been so unserious these past few years in SHS, has now heard you and actually now wants to make, the person has woken up to reality and now wants to actually go for it, do you think it's too late? Because we have just 3 months, you're writing in August. Is it too late for the person to start?
It is never too late. It is never too late. Once you are determined, once you are focused, once you tell yourself, this is what I want, enough with the procrastination, sit up. You will be able to make it. It will surprise you that someone who started long ago may not be even able to match up to you who will start today. It all depends on you. As I said, approach the exams with all seriousness. Behave like an athlete who is ending a race. End with all your strength. End with everything in you, and you will be able to achieve your aim. It is never too late to start. It's better late than never.
Thank you very much. And one thing I've also personally learned from everything I've heard Mrs. Dorsia say is, putting aside your academic capabilities and disabilities, one key factor that can really help you is prayer. So then Mrs. Dorsia is encouraging all of us to, yes, take your academics seriously, but then don't put away your prayer life. Thank you very much for your time. I believe you have all learned a lot because I have personally learned. Thank you very much.
Thank you too, my dear.
Inspiring words from Mrs. Safua Osei-Fosu. With just a few months to go, final year students are reminded that success in WASI is within reach, with focus, discipline, and the right guidance. Prudence Glory Ego, Brand High Media.